Shalom, shalom, call halal, Yahba, Shem Yahushua, Shem Makakadash. Double to the apostles at the edge, salutations to the elect, men, women, children that believe are the 1/3. Babylon is falling, is falling, is falling. So, I got this car. It's a used car. And you know, with used cars, you need to do maintenance on them. Cars, period. But when you get a car and it's used, depending on the mileage and stuff like that, you gotta do maintenance. So, I had like a couple of, like my light went out, a few things I had to change. And I'm no car dude. I always, so if I had other cars, whether I rented them or whatever, I just took them back. It was like, maintenance was like part of the deal, right? Or if I did have like my own vehicle, I would deal with like mechanics. So I stopped dealing with street mechanics because, man, like sometimes you find a good street mechanic and sometimes, you know, you gotta chase them around. They don't have the proper tools. They be cutting corners. They want extra money, and you don't want to risk your freedom and safety behind a car. So I just start going to shops. But then the shops be ripping people off. So, you know, because right now in Babylon, everything is cutthroat. Like, to find a good mechanic is like pulling teeth. It's like very difficult, you know? So, then what you think is a good mechanic, they might fuck some shit up on your shit just so you could come back, because everybody is trying to squeeze everybody for money if they could. Capitalism always been like that, but shit running dry, it's like that. So the goal of the elites is to belly up all these companies, like the cause of global reset. So they doing it with the Straits of Hormuz, with the oil, closing down the straits. So they got multiple different ways of doing it. So another way they doing this is through what? Do it DIY videos. Do it yourself. So I'm about to go spend about $200-300 just to fix a couple of parts on the car. And every car is different, but before I went to spend the money, I said, man, you know what? I asked the AI and the computer, ChatGPT and YouTube and all that shit, for everything else. So, let me ask this shit, you know what I mean? As far as like tuning my shit up and changing the bulbs and stuff like that. You know, little minor things, swapping out the spark plugs and things like that, right? Change a part or two, or the alternator, because there's some cars that sit right on top of the engine. And I'm like, and I watched the video, I'm like, man, I could do that shit. I watched it again, because, hey, sometimes you gotta know your lane, though, fucking with certain shit, because you be done try to do some shit and fucked yourself up, or fucked your car up, and now you gotta pay somebody to come and fix it, right? And I've been gone for a little bit, so I lost a lot of people, connections. I don't know where people at. Right, I could hunt them down, push come to shove, but I'm like low key. I'd rather not be seen or deal with people, right? So I'm like, man, I could do that shit. So I'm like, yo, I got a couple tools around this bitch, you know. Like right now, like couldn't find out. I already fixed some shit, but one of my bulbs went out. My low beam bulb. And it's like a little, you know, you lift the hood and, you know, it's not hard. It's a few steps or whatever. But it's like, yo, why pay somebody $50 to do that shit? Or they might charge you $70 to do that shit. I'm like, yo, I could do that shit by myself. Like, I'm not that incompetent, especially when you got a video. The Jake videos, I ain't gonna lie, them motherfuckers don't be explaining shit good. A lot of them Jake videos. But Esau, hey, he be breaking that shit down. Like, don't do this, hit this here, push this button, wiggle this, and it might be a little snub. You might, you know. So I'm like, man, I could do that shit. And I did it. And I was a little proud of him. I'm like, man, shit, and that boosted my confidence. Now, am I about to be lifting my shit up and going up under it and doing some crazy shit? Hell no. But, you know, like brakes, little shit. Like, I'm like, man, if I just buy the tools and I got the tools, that's not even near what, you know, because you're going to have to change certain parts, you know, every once in a while there. And that boosted my confidence. So, you know, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I'm like, man, you know, I'm like, shit, you know, what else I could fix on this motherfucker? You know, you kind of learn. But what that's going to do is, see, the elites back then would never let videos like that be. But right now, the scripture saying Amos, that the reaper, Amos 9, and at the towards the end, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper. You know what I mean? So right now they let these videos out, and he's like, yo, I ain't got, if you ain't lazy, you got a little work ethic, you know what I mean? You can follow fucking directions, you can do that shit yourself. And like I said, and I just saved, like, well, with this bulb, kind of found out my front bulb, my low beam bulb, and really I should have just changed all them shits, because after a while the other one just go. But I just got one. I wasn't thinking. I should have just changed like both of them. But I got two low beams. I got a big one and a like little small round one. But I'm like, yeah, man, I saved like $400 in labor on some simple shit. Got me some, well, I had the tools, because I always had like tools around this bitch, little ratchet sockets and shit. You know, working on bikes and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's a lot in my allergies. But yeah, so, and if I'm one person that saved $400 just doing the shit myself, and that's just a car, but that's just a car. But you have it's lucky, I thought something like fell on. I'm up under this tree. Sometimes these branches be breaking. You got people fixing their house, apartment, doing little shit, you know, cutting corners, you know what I mean? And they able to do it themselves. You don't need, and what's happening when you do that? You're going to shut these companies down. They're going to lose a lot of fucking money. And that's why you're seeing, like the Lord said, what? In Ecclesiastes 12, the door shall be shut in the streets. That's why you see a lot of these places like bellying up. You know what I mean? Because even little minor things like that now, engine transmission, shit like that, you know, I ain't working on no shit like that. But changing like little small parts, you know, your battery, your alternator, little maybe you know, the brakes, you know, brake pads, even the rotors didn't look too crazy, you know what I mean? But you do have to understand like the components of like your brakes, the caliber and these different things, the pistons and shit like that. So you could know like what you touching and shit like that, because you don't want to fuck your shit up. But nah, that's it. That's the point, man. And I always noticed that, but you know, actually doing it, I'm like, man, let me see if I could do this shit. I watched the video, little 2, 3, 4 minute video. Sometimes it'd be 8-minute videos. I'm like, oh man, that's it. That's all the fuck you gotta do. And I was like, boop, bop, boop, boop, bop. Change that shit, swap some shit out. You know what I mean? So you be slow at it at first. You know what I mean? You don't be all quick. You taking your time, running the video back, rewind it a little bit, and do it again. And you know, that's how the elites is given. First he gave the corporations the power to oppress the people, and now they giving the people the power to bankrupt the corporations through shit like this. And that's what, funding both sides. You know, they said in their heart, I would be like the Most High, controlling the left hand and controlling the right hand. Hey, and with that, it's something to think about. Just something I noticed, a quick experience I had. But I'm about to go slap this motherfucking bulb in. They probably take a couple minutes and shit. It ain't that. Maybe like, I'm slow. I'm no mechanic at all, so it might take me. Average person might take them 5 minutes. It probably take me 15, 20, but I save about $70. Somebody charge you $70 to do some shit like that. And might fuck something else up. Like I said, it's hard to like trust like a trustworthy mechanic. Is really hard to come by. But with that, hey, y'all brothers, hold it down. Shalom, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. Just a quick pointer on how this shit is out here collapsing and what making it collapse. So with that, hold it down. Shalom. Y'all about to show with us. Shalom.